thinking about these fractionalized components of a property and being able to have different investors own a piece of it. And because of the blockchain and the efficiency of it, you're able to sell it to other individuals and you're able to sort of benefit from that. So I think that that is a trend that we started seeing.
In the future, it is potentially possible that rather than going to a bank to get a mortgage, we go to some sort of organized collective of those who have crypto assets that can provide that loan in a digital currency, the transactions made a digital currency, and the sort of interest that's earned from it goes back to the provider of the loan, which again is no longer a financial institution, but some kind of collective.
Correct. Because much of how mortgage gets originated today, we're a direct lender, so we lend our own capital, but ultimately we own the assets, which are a loan. If you think about the majority of the loans that go to US consumers, they go to government-sponsored agencies, Fannie Mae and Freddie, and that's where the loans go. They will own it, and then they will sell it to very large institutions that are in the business of investing capital for pension funds and sovereign wealth funds and individual investors. That is an interest rate that's being generated by these loans where you have very, very low defaults, where it's a fantastic product and a fantastic yielding asset that most of us are not able to participate in. But if you actually incorporate some elements of efficiency of how do you bring this to many, many more consumers through some of these evolutions with smart contracts in the blockchain, then there is a possibility to create this parallel world where people can think about it from a different perspective, where it doesn't have to go to the same place. And potentially we can all benefit from rising rates, that we can actually experience some of that yield for ourselves because we can help other individuals get loans to buy homes, which we believe to be very, very attractive assets.
So I have to ask, is there any other way in which you imagine technology in the crypto space or otherwise dramatically changing the funding of investment properties in the future? Any other sort of insight into how you imagine this space evolving in the next few years?
Absolutely. I think the other way is just sort of what are the requirements to qualify for a loan? So as the space continues to evolve and there's more data and individuals are keeping a portion of their wealth, can you analyze their wealth through the wallets and the assets that they actually own? And is there this place where you can actually look at an individual and you already know most of the characteristics that you need to be able to lend to that individual, and they can be pre-qualified ahead of time instead of actually saying, I want to go and buy a home. Ahead of time what is actually your purchasing power as a consumer. And you can decide whether you want to transact or not, but you know that you're not going to go through this long drawn out process because we have all of this data. And I think that that was a big component of real estate and the evolution over the last 10 years is that there's a tremendous amount of data. I think that there's a tremendous amount of growth and evolution just around the borrowing experience for individuals, because most of our information in our financial picture, it's all online already. And if it's permissioned to the right players, they should be able to tell you as a consumer what you're able to qualify for without really needing to apply.
So another potential parallel, we're talking about decentralized assets here, and real estate used to be the most centralized asset. You bought a place to physically be in it, and there's only one of them. It's not something that can be easily chopped up into small pieces and divided around the world. Do you envision that this technology, the blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, will, in a way, make real estate investing more decentralized?
I think it's already happening. I think there are companies that are exploring that and thinking about these fractionalized components of a property and being able to have different investors own a piece of it. And because of the blockchain and the efficiency of it, you're able to sell it to other individuals and you're able to sort of benefit from that. So I think that that is a trend that we started seeing. I think a lot of it is very sort of speculative in nature for people who want to own a home potentially in Arizona and they want to benefit from potentially price appreciation of a singular home in Arizona. But I think over time, I think it's going to continue to develop where people can potentially participate in a basket of homes in certain geos. And I think that that becomes really interesting because it creates this whole other category where it's not individuals who just have to invest in stocks or bonds or crypto, but now you actually start to think about real world assets from an investment perspective. And I think that that's exciting.